Why does time move forward? It sounds like a strange question. Time just moves. The past is gone, the future arrives, and we're carried along without a choice. But here's the thing. There's no law of physics that says it has to be this way. The equations that describe atoms, particles, forces, they work perfectly fine in reverse. Nothing in the fundamental rules of the universe says that a shattered glass can't reassemble, that spilled milk can't flow back into the cup, that you can't grow younger instead of older. And yet, none of those things ever happen. Not once, not ever. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why. And the answer comes from a place you'd never expect: 19th century steam engines. Engineers back then were obsessed with efficiency. How hot should the fire be? What's the best substance to boil? And out of those practical, greasy questions emerged one of the most profound laws in physics, the second law of thermodynamics. At its heart is a concept called entropy, and entropy explains everything. Here's the simplest way to understand it. Imagine a pile of sand on a beach. It has trillions of grains arranged randomly. Now ask, how many ways could I rearrange those grains and still have a pile of sand? The answer is almost infinite. I could swap any grain with any other, shuffle them endlessly, and nothing would change. A pile is a pile. That's high entropy. Lots of ways to arrange the parts without changing the whole. Now imagine a sandcastle. Same grains, same number, but now how many ways can I rearrange them and still have a castle? Almost none. Move a few grains and the tower collapses. Swap a handful and the walls crumble. That's low entropy. Very few arrangements preserve the structure. Here's where it gets interesting. Leave the sandcastle in the wind. What happens? It falls apart. Grain by grain, the wind erodes it back into a shapeless pile. Order becomes disorder. Low entropy becomes high entropy. But here's the question. Could the wind build a sandcastle? Think about it. There's no law of physics that says the wind can't pick up grains from a pile and deposit them in the exact shape of a castle. Every gust, every collision, every grain moving through the air, all of it follows the same reversible physics. In principle, it could happen. It just won't. Not because it's forbidden, because it's astronomically unlikely. There are trillions of ways for grains to form a pile. There are almost no ways for them to form a castle. So when the wind blows, it will always push things toward the more probable state, toward disorder, toward the pile. Entropy doesn't increase because the universe commands it. Entropy increases because it's overwhelmingly more likely to. And this single idea is why time has a direction. The past is the direction of lower entropy. The future is the direction of higher entropy. And you're riding that wave moment by moment as the universe drifts from improbable arrangements toward probable ones. Your coffee cools because heat spreading out is more likely than heat concentrating. Glass shatters and never unshatters because scattered shards have more possible arrangements than an intact cup. You remember yesterday and not tomorrow because forming a memory increases entropy. It's a one-way receipt of the universe, becoming more disordered. The arrow of time isn't a law written into reality. It's a statistical truth so overwhelming that it might as well be fate. Sandcastles fall. They don't rise. And neither do we. Not because the universe forbids it, but because the odds against it are so vast that in the entire lifespan of the cosmos, it will never happen. Not once, not ever. The second law doesn't say time must move forward. It says that betting against it is betting against infinity, and infinity always wins. If this gave you something to sit with, I'm glad you were here. Subscribe if you want to do this again. I'll see you next time.